Come, let us find liberation through meditation. No guru needed. I wish to take a moment to respond to a very kind comment. Let's see here. I get to push the right button now. Okay. Thanks, Robert. Much love. Okay, so I get to go back over here now, and I tap button 14. All right, so let us explore the root text and as well as the commentary to the first of 55 passages of Prahevajra's vast expanse of the diamond-like mind. Together. This vast expanse of the diamond-like strength of a mind well trained in mindfulness and meditation is the all-good and spacious ultimate dimension of phenomena. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise, cease, or actively analyze anything. As they say on South Park. What? So now let us play with the commentary to that same passage together. We start, as we will more than once in the 55 passages of this Tantra, with Vajrasattva. The archetype whose Vajra diamond and Ganta bell remind us of the awareness and relaxation that can make our minds as strong and resilient as a diamond. This vast expanse of the diamond-like strength of a mind well trained in mindfulness and meditation. Concentration is like a prison cell we make for ourselves out of the plentiful materials of our rigidity and controlling tendencies. A claustrophobic room whose walls perpetually feel as if they are closing in upon us, compressing the soft biomatter of our humanity into the hard diamond of fear and aggression. With the desperation of a snared coyote, our mind could reach outward with imagination's hand to grasp at the opposite of this stifling torment, an experience of limitless openness and infinite freedom, where we can breathe and relax and be the better version of ourself that is our birthright. This vast expanse of the diamond-like strength of a mind well trained in mindfulness and meditation. Nagarjuna, the first century South Indian Buddhist philosopher, I think I'd like to stick a photograph in there, so bear with me. Well, not really a photograph, that's not the right word. An image, that's the word I'm looking for. So first I'm going to make sure that everything is fitting on the screen just so. And now I'm going to add an image. Let's hit insert and pictures and this device. Let's go to pictures yet again and Buddhist yoga. Let's go to training. Let's scroll down to the ends and find this gent. We're going to click wrap text behind text. There we go. And now drag this bad boy. Okay, and let's continue. Nagarjuna, the maybe truly they are, Nagarjuna, the first century South Indian Buddhist philosopher, taught of both the conventional that we are wired to perceive during each inhalation and the ultimate that we evolve to feel as we relax into every exhalation. Is the all good and spacious ultimate dimension of phenomena. Now that looks like a typo, not typo, but it's not really pleasing to the eye. So let's fix that real quick. And let's make sure that fits. Okay. Is the all good and spacious ultimate dimension of phenomena. Despite the insistence by the minions of elitist patriarchy that enlightenment's path is secret, difficult, and lengthy. Gautama, Gautama the Buddha, be he real or merely archetypical, taught a path. Easy, quick, and universally available. As universally available as our body, breath, and brain. This pure, complete path that liberates all. A delicious irony is that as we relax into our exhalation, whatever power, ease, and efficiency of this path we might have noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was as fleeting and non-graspable as if it had never been born. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise or cease. Of the many side effects of having been raised in a culture charged by Yang's religious or irreligious patriarchy is that the elite myth of meritocracy that seems to be forever whispering in our ear, if it's to be, it's up to me, imploring us to indulge our controlling and rigid tendencies to overanalyze that which would otherwise be spontaneously easy, effortless, and effective. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise or cease or actively analyze anything. Let's make sure this fits on the page. It does. How nice. In essence, let us savor the good fortune of the neurological mechanisms we have inherited that are as effortless as they are effective. This vast expanse of the diamond-like strength of a mind well trained in mindfulness and meditation is the all-good and spacious ultimate dimension of phenomena. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise, cease, or actively analyze anything. Now, I want to do a quick edit here. Please bear with me. And let's hit home and center and make sure this fits on the page. And again, let's italicize and center. This pure, complete path that liberates all does not arise, cease, or actively analyze anything. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. Having completed our opening lesson, it's time for us to now shift gears. It is Rey Skywalker Sunday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Lama, Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day. Oopsie, I forgot something. I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your personal, nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers, just like you. For the remainder of this evening's live stream, we're going to play with the latest iteration of very easy meditation practice text, Sadhana, if you're nasty. Now, I just want to make sure, it feels like there's something going goofy here. Is this fitting on the screen? Yeah. Actually, it's not fitting on the screen. Okay, so there's something... Okay. Feels like... One moment, if you please. Was there something going on over here? Having a technical snafu, please bear with me. There is something off about this. Oh, that's not it. I'm having a snafu. Please bear with me. Yeah, something is off. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. This page looks correct. This page doesn't. Is the problem over here? No. Okay. I think I'm getting closer to the solution. Please bear with me. Okay, well, that was weird, but I think things are back on track, so cowabunga. Concentration and analysis will trigger our amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression. We don't want that. Instead, we want to rely upon our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems to notice and relax. The most efficient way for us, therefore, to practice meditation is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. And the most efficient way for us to practice meditation is for us to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or philosophy, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window. For I tend to check for questions approximately once every 15 minutes or so. Let's dig in. You see, every time we inhale, our sympathetic nervous system, ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord, has evolved not to concentrate, but to simply notice, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. So the key here is passivity. We're not trying to actively notice. We're not trying to actively relax. That would be redundant. We're already wired to do these things in peak efficiency. All we're doing is aligning our intention to cooperate with this process. That's why we are playing with these monosyllabic words in harmony with our cycles of breath. When we talk about Buddha nature, that's just a charming Iron Age way of describing our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Most of us go through lives competing against our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, living in focus, analysis, anxiety, and aggression. However, when we cooperate with our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, we calm our anxiety, we calm our aggression, and we stimulate our anterior cingulate gyrus, the seat of empathy and compassion and love. The nudity of this gal, the color of a cumulus cloud, reminds us that every time we inhale, we are wired to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. Her partner, color, reminiscent of the sky, reminds us that every time we exhale, allow me to rephrase it, every time we relax into our exhalation, we are wired that which we noticed during our previous inhalation can now feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could be tantalizing to the eye, is non-graspable to the hand. The late Tulku Tundup insisted that the highest love was spontaneous and uncontrived. We are reminded of this by the beauty of this tantric couple. The sixth fold of the Buddha's Eightfold Path is the right effort that is effortless, that is experienced when our choices, utterances, and deeds flow from the centered spontaneity that is a byproduct of our practice of mindfulness and meditation. What reminds us of that? The stability with which her partner sits reminds us of centeredness. The abandon with which she sports in tantric union reminds us of spontaneity. The path we trod is rather passive. We don't need to force our sympathetic nervous system to notice. We do not need to force our parasympathetic nervous system to relax. All we need to do is cooperate intentionally. The easiest way to do that is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, as well as silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. The archetype holds an implement known as a diamond or a vajra. 5 prongs of the vajra could remind us that as we inhale, our sympathetic nervous system is wired to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. 5 prongs of the vajra could remind us that we are wired to notice sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like. 5 prongs of the vajra could remind us that we are wired to notice emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. 5 prongs of the vajra could remind us that we're wired to notice all manner of phenomena, from the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the glorious to the grotesque. In Vajrasattva's left hand, he appears to be holding a bell, which reminds us that as we relax into our exhalation, whatever we noticed during the previous inhalation could feel as not as resounding yet as non-graspable as the tone of a bell. As we inhale, we could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, thus cooperating passively with our sympathetic nervous system's tendency to notice. As we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease, thus helping us to passively cooperate with our parasympathetic nervous system's propensity to physically relax as well as mentally release. Together, let us practice right now. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class, as well as group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.